It's official. I am back from my work trip. It was a good time. It was a lot of fun, but I am very happy to be home and get back to the grind and make some videos for you guys. So I figured what better way to get back into the swing than connecting with you guys and answering your questions. I put these questions out on YouTube, Discord, and Facebook, so this is all of the best ones I chose for right now. Again, non-music and non-reaction questions. That's really what I try to go for with these videos because we have a podcast and a reaction channel where we do that all the time. This is to change things up a little bit. So today, there's no shortage of good things, so let's go ahead and get into it. My buddy Kevin wants to know, how's the vaping journey going? I will say this, is that for the first week or so, that was probably the worst. It was, that constant need of something to do. Like there's this, hole that you now have in you when you stop doing something that's so addictive. And for me, gaming, watching movies, driving, pretty much everything, it was so empty without it, and it just felt like something was wrong or that I was doing something wrong. It really messed with my psyche for a little while, and it was something that was very difficult to continue on and to be able to be successful in, but thankfully I have not. I will say that again, like I've said in that video, I am smoking cigarettes again, which obviously is not good for you, but in the same hand is that compared to the amount of nicotine that I was taking in before to now, it's been drastically different. And something that we're actually going to do here pretty soon is we want to get not fume, but they make those little like plastic tubes, I guess you could call them, but they have the air filters in them that make air, flavored a certain way where it's supposed to help that hand to mouth, addiction. And it's something that I'm very excited to try. I'm really hoping for the day that I can get back to how I felt a long time ago when I would sing, breathe, run, all those different things. So the journey's going great. I have not touched a vape. I have not bought one. I have been staying on my path and staying strong. So appreciate that, man. Would you rather travel to Scotland or Australia? Well, figuring since 90% of what's in Australia wants to kill me, I'm gonna choose Scotland. But a non-funny answer is I would still choose Scotland for a couple of reasons. Is that one, I love the lay of the land. I love how everything looks. I love the culture. I love everything that is not American. It's not that I hate this country, but it's one of those that I find that I am just fascinated by culture. I am fascinated by what people do. I am just perplexed at customs, all those different things. So Scotland is definitely somewhere that I would love to go. Not to mention my lady's family is from there. So there's really close knit things about it. Like there's just many good reasons why I'd want to. In Australia, there's an octopus that if it stings you, you die. And it's like this big. So I wouldn't be getting in the water anyway, but just to know that, where it's like, nah, man, that and huntsman spiders, I'm good. What's your favorite memory about your brother from childhood? It's interesting because Eric and I are so far apart in age that there's no real, I guess you could say human interaction that we had that wasn't just us being brothers. It was the stereotypical thing of, me being upset with him being upset with me, you touched my thing or this or that, or mainly it was me playing his PlayStation when I shouldn't have. But we definitely we were never at each other's throats or anything. There was never a hatred there. It was just normal brother shit. It's weird how that relationship is and how that can translate, for different people. I will say that one of my favorite memories of Eric would probably have to be when, I don't remember what it was, but we were sitting out on the porch and we were talking about a movie. It was a movie that hadn't come out yet. I want to say maybe it was Mummy Returns or something, but I remember engaging in conversation with him and I realized what it was really like to talk to my brother as a human being and not my brother. You know what I mean? It's when you take away that, I don't know how to explain it, that dynamic. It's something that it didn't really hit me until then when I was like, oh my God, this is nice. We're not adults by any means, but it was us having an adult conversation about something fun. And now we do that on the podcast. And it's wild how life happens. Life is funny. What are your thoughts on the direwolf being resurrected? Now I'm going to be 110% transparent here. I really don't know much about the direwolf. The only thing that I know is that I think the last living one was 13,000 years ago. So with that being said, is that this is an extinct animal that is now back in our ecosystem and is back in this world when nature selected it to be gone. Or maybe they were killed out of extinction. I honestly don't know. But what I will say is that this is going to be a big eye-opener with genetics and with science and how things are going to improve and what we can do and what's actually possible. Think about this. Jurassic Park is literally happening right now. It's just not with dinosaurs and lizards. Just the idea that we are in a world that this is now reality, science has gotten to this point that we can literally figure out how to bring something back from the dead as a species. Like that, to me, it's mesmerizing, and I think it's kind of cool. But I'd be lying if I said that my inner Jeff Goldblum wasn't coming out and going, man, like, should you have done that? I don't know. I guess time will tell. If you could go back in time and talk to your teenage self, what advice would you give him? Relax. Stop stressing. Stop being so obsessive about things that don't matter. Treat your friends better. Make better decisions, avoid certain relationships, avoid certain things. I would do my best to try to guide that kid as far as I could, because I know for a fact that I was very arrogant back then. I was very my way or the highway, and it was a time that I really don't like remembering for a lot of different reasons. But if I could get him to listen, I would want my younger self to understand that, like, it's okay to not obsess about things. It's okay to not be so upset all the time. It's okay to not, constantly look for every situation to be able to share, your faith. It's like, I would want him just to be a human being. I'd want him to just, stand firm in what he believes, but do it respectfully. I've got a lot of different things I've done in my life, because of my faith, that I am very ashamed of, because of how I treated people and what I was like. And now that I'm an adult and I'm grown up, it's one of those things that I wonder, man, like, what would have happened to me if I could have been a little nicer, or if I could have been, easier to be with? That's probably what I would end up telling him, and just assure him that everything's going to be all right. What's a new skill you'd like to learn? I'll be honest, I really want to get into martial arts. I either want to get into jujitsu or karate, or something that's going to be able to keep me physically busy and also physically active. I've worked out before, I've had, the, sculpted bod, I guess you could say, for a while, but I've also never been happier while I had it. So for me, it's the idea of like, I think I want to be able to do something that, would benefit me, in a situation where I can be useful if someone's being harmed, or self-defense. And, it's like, cool, I'm going to get fit along the way. That's something I'd really like to do. I would love to be able to learn what my body is capable of, because I think that one of the things that we do is that we underestimate ourselves, and we think to ourselves, man, like, if only I could. It's like, well, maybe you can. You just have to work a little bit to get there. Like, I know it sucks, but everything is work. Like, get there. It'll be fine. What's the most unhinged DM you've ever gotten from a subscriber? Oh boy, there's honestly many things that I could talk about here. I've said it before that, when Eric and I, started to gain traction on YouTube with Rykerroad, that you never know who's going to be on the other end of that message. And there's some people that are very unhinged. There are people that are just excited to be able to get a response, which is weird, because I don't get it. Like, I'm a dude that has access to a computer and a phone like everybody else, and sometimes I respond to comments, or sometimes I don't, or different things. But I will say this, is that I'm very careful about answering DMs now. I really don't answer a lot. I don't want to open myself up to people any more than I have in the past. I'm very, very happy with where I'm at right now. I like keeping my stuff private. I like, not being on the internet that much. I'm on it as much as I need to be. But as far as unhinged DMs, what stands out to me is really the people that don't even know us that expect to be on the show. Like, and it's weird, because it's like, I've had like different times where people have been like, oh, it's like, I'm thinking about getting back into this, or like, hey man, like, I run my own stuff. It's like, can I jump on your guys' show and join with you? And it's like, number one, I don't even know you, man. But secondly, it's the fact of like, you did not put in the blood, sweat, and tears to get here. You didn't get here through the broken relationships and when we had no money, and, during the times when I, didn't want to be alive, and still did it anyway. And it's to me, like, that's the thing that I think that offends me the most, is that people that think that this is just as simple as turning on a camera, and it really isn't. There's so much more to being a content creator that nobody knows about, that you can't explain until you're in it. And by the time that you're in it, you can't get out of it. It's like that type of thing. I'm very proud of what Eric and I have been able to do with this platform and the multiple channels that we've done. It's really awesome, but there are just sometimes that some people think that it's been handed to us. And you could say that it has been, because of with being thrown into the algorithm with Dirty Diana, people found us like that, but we kept going. We grinded. We made other channels. We tried other things. We've damn near done like Food Network shows for Shut Up and Eat It. Like it's like that type of level of like trying to be that. You know, we've worked our ass off to be here, and we have many late nights of kitchen talks to be able to prove it. But I think that ultimately it's the people that feel like they're owed something, especially like when people are really idiotic. Like we had somebody join Patreon to tell us that we sucked. Like, this is the lengths that people will do to spread hate. This is what people will do to essentially try to make themselves feel better, you know, or just, you know, maybe in some way feel like that they've got a check mark on a board or something. But ultimately, they're wasting their time and they're wasting our time. And I think that that's the thing that stresses me out more, is when people waste my time, you know, and it's just kind of like, man, like don't play this crap, man. Don't be like that. Where do you see yourself a year from now if all things go as planned? I would really like to think that by next year, this time next year, that I would have already made a short film with Rager, that I've gotten a decent amount of my script done, that there's, you know, some musical things going on around me that, you know, I'm very proud of, that maybe, you know, finishing like an album and just, you know, having a collection of songs, you know, not to release and tour, but just to be like, nah, man, I did it. I released an album quality thing. You know, to just have that, you know, like that's an accomplishment for me. But filmmaking is definitely something that I'm really excited about, and something that I really want to be able to keep doing. But finding somebody like Rager that, you know, has the dedication, the ability, the bones to back it up, the dedication, and, you know, just even being asked questions when he, you know, wanted to know more about the character that I'm pitching for him to play, he would ask just like the coolest questions of like, okay, well, what about this? You know, like, what's this person like? Because he genuinely wants to build this character properly. That's the stuff that I'm excited about. I'm excited to get more of my friends in on doing like scary story stuff when I can bring that back. I really see that the creative side will have taken off. That is what I'm hoping for, at least by this time next year. I know that I've got other things that I am excited to try out that's not reacting, because reacting is such a small percentage of what we do on this platform. And it's something that I'm excited to not leave in the dust, but focus on the things that I really want to focus on and write some really good shit. So we'll see what happens. What's your favorite TV series of all time? I won't lie, for a while it was Supernatural. Then I watched The Office, and then that took over completely. That was a show that I got so invested in. That was actually something that Eric and I did, that we bonded over, that, you know, we would watch. I can't remember if we ever had like a specific day that we did it, but we would blow through like 3 or 4 episodes, you know, and when it finally ended, I remember being on the back deck and just weeping, because it was everything that I hoped it would be and more. And I went from being a diehard, oh no, it's you know, not The Office without Michael, and you know, it's like it's gonna fall apart, and I was wrong. It is, I'm definitely somebody that would watch the entire show again. I'm not gonna stop just because a character leaves. But I will say this, is that even The Office has been dethroned by The Boys. I absolutely love The Boys, and it's such a raunchy, intense, disgusting depiction of superheroes that we've never seen before, but characters that are so genuine and so emotional and would do anything, you know, and that to me is the main thing that keeps bringing me back, is that, you know, yeah, sure, the superhero thing, but at the end of the day, this is about the characters themselves, and for me, they're all so compelling, and I cannot wait for season 5. This last question, if you had to choose 1.5 square miles to be wiped off the face of the earth, never to be seen ever again, where would it be? So I'm imagining this being like a ginormous like bulldozer or something, where like, you know, the guy on the intercom's like, all right, what do you want me to destroy? Well, I mean, I don't want to take out anybody. I want it to be kind of like maybe a place that's like inconvenienced or something. Like, I don't know, the asshole side of me wants to say a golf course, that way we can put more houses there. But probably the entire sector of Westboro Baptist Church. That's probably what I would love to see completely erased from this planet. You know, no one has to die. The building, not the people. I'm not inciting violence here, all right? So don't go around saying, oh, Kyle from the DETOUR said, no, I did not. But let's remove their establishment. That'd be amazing. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this week's questions. If you guys have enjoyed this, make sure you guys like and comment and subscribe for more. If you guys have any more questions you want me to answer, go ahead and leave them below and I'll jump on it as soon as possible. As far as the next thing that I plan on doing is I actually want to give you guys a tour of the new podcast room. We actually have some new stuff in place and it looks like an actual like professional space now and feels a lot better. If that's something you guys would like to see, let me know and I'll make sure that we have it happen. Until next time, hit all the buttons and I'll see you guys another time. Adios.